And another thing I tried tinkering with as well is changing the face heel alignments doesn't work. So I can't even, in either tag team or single, change the faces to heels and the heels to faces and get the same reaction. It just doesn't work. Either way, it seems locked in that first team out gets cheered, second team out gets booed. And that kind of sucks, really. Another issue I've had is the problem where we can't. There's this whole thing with multiple managers now, isn't there? Let's see what these look like. And you can have multiple managers in the same match, and that's all great. It would really do well for the Disciples of Darkness, for example. The only problem is that it doesn't seem to work for custom superstars in custom arenas. You try doing, because RCW is an all-core fed, you try doing custom superstars like a 6-man tag, for example. And you try doing that in a custom arena with a custom fed, and it doesn't work because the game just crashes. And that is a damn shame because I can't even do 6-man tags now. I can't have Dragasan or one of the members of the Disciples of Darkness come out for their match. Let's make that black, and then we'll change the outline to purple with an outer glow of white. I can't even have a 6-man tag with Vice, Death and Steinmetz, or Vice, Death and Dragasan, or whatever variation of the Disciples of Darkness, because the game just crashes. It's laggy as fuck in a standard arena with standard wrestlers. It's bad enough as it is, but I really hope it's patched because, you know, I can't. 6-man battle royals, same thing. Sometimes you just need a 6-man battle royal to just give some people some TV time or YouTube time, or to determine a #1 contender, which on 2K16 was how I determined #1 contenders, like to the US Championship for Uprising. Can't do that again. So there's going to be, that needs looking into, because, you know, tag team matches run smoothly. Fatal 4-ways run smoothly this time. They were a pain in the ass last time on 2K16. Lag if they all went outside the ring and shit. And there's still a fair bit of lag in certain areas, but, you know, it's just being careful with it. But, you know, I like doing my 6-man tag matches. And every now and then, yes, they take a while, but, you know, sometimes it's worth it. And so that needs fixing. We need to be able to use 6 wrestlers in a custom arena without it crashing. Otherwise, there'll never be a 6-man match in RCW. Probably live with that, but on the subject of multiple managers, I can get away with minimal frame rate lags. 2 managers at ringside, so I can still have Vice and Death accompanying Dragasan or something like that, just not all 3 members. But the crowd's a bit dead. It's like an Impact show. It's a bit shit, really. But that's just should we go purple and black or black and pearl? I don't even know it's worth having them. Yeah, so I'm going to have to look into that and see how that goes. But having said that, because here's my thing, I don't use Universe that much because there was too many issues for it for me. Rivalries weren't sticking and stuff like that, and I'm not going to get into the hows or whys or speculate or complain or anything. I'm happy using Exhibition because I've now got a promo system. I can use that in Universe mode and use a promo engine. I can do backstage brawls. I can do breakouts and, you know, tag team breakouts and stuff like that. There's plenty of stuff that I can do to make it an interesting show without having to rely on still images and text. What I'll probably do for the promos is maybe overlay my own text over the top of it, because what I've done through testing the promo engine is there's a lot of mention of WWE and a lot of mention of the Authority, and I try and keep as much WWE stuff and Authority especially out of RCW. So yeah, there's going to be Triple H backstage in the locker office, sorry, but I can just pretend that's Roscoe. We just won't get too close up to him. But yeah, there's things like that that, you know, can be an issue. But there's stuff that can help as well. So it'll be mainly exhibition again. RCW, NGW, BWA, because I'm bringing that back. And there's a lot of stuff I can do. I just hope they fix this bloody... the frame rate drops and the crashes in multiple 6-man matches in custom arenas. It's not a necessity. I can work around it. Just change certain stuff to fatal 4-ways, because they do okay. They don't cause frame lag or anything. I think the rollout system actually helps with that. Say what you will about it. But the tag team thing is probably at the moment more of an issue than the 6-man freeze. I can work around the 6-man freeze, but the tag team issue is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to get through. Have I covered all the issues there? I think I might have done. It sucks that there's no... I'm looking for a particular pair of boots, by the way. It sucks that there's no rivalry system in exhibition mode now, because I did a match and I turned run-ins on and stuff yesterday. Did the match on 2K, on this game, 2K17, and Alberto Del Rio ran out at the end, and that was not sexy. It was one of those things where I was like, well, why are you here? Actually, while I'm making Anderson Black, that's an interesting thing that I wanted to bring up. Some of the wrestlers might look a little bit different. I'm going to save it here, actually. And I will show you what I mean. Just bear with me. I will name him later. He's just going to be Superstar for now. Now, these issues mainly affect the NGW roster. And it's not that big a deal because you haven't seen the NGW roster yet. But there are certain areas where it was hard to exactly recreate the 2K16 looks of the wrestlers. The body morphing's gone for a start. You've got preset body types. The face presets have gone. So there's problems there. It's like Alex, I mean, for the most part, they all look the same. Walter's Assyrian Betty Big Ugly was one that I used the Ron Perlman looking face from presets last year. I had to make Big Ugly from scratch. CW Longley, Christian Fox, Brad Taylor, they all look pretty much the same. Dragosan's got a new look. I saw that outfit when all the pre-release footage came out. I was like, that would do great for Dragosan, and it does look pretty nice. Scott, Frankie Oxley there. His tights aren't in the game. His rose tights from last year. Corby, Martin Corby, was one that I struggled with last year. He might look more different than his 2K16 version because I struggled to get the look down last year, because he is based on someone I know. However, I think I've got it closer to not only the actual Corby, whatever he looks like now because I haven't seen him in years, but more to the 2K14 Corby as well, so that's a bonus. Paul Haynes is pretty much the same. Sid's got Undertaker eyes, that's only for the pose thing. O'Savory's got a new look, he's got new tights and a new singlet, because the issue with those Savory was that his top would kind of cut off just before the tights line, so there'd be a bit of belly showing, and I didn't like that. Ross Lee's pretty much unchanged. There might be differences in some areas where I've missed the arms and feet gear. Ross Lee probably has different knee pads to last year and different boots, but you know, people change outfits. That's, you know, wrestling. They don't always wear the same thing. But for the most part, they all do look pretty much the same. Scorn is different because he had 2 layers of face paint last year. Can't have 2 layers of face paint this year. So I've had to give him a singular layer. It didn't look right with a big bushy beard, so I've shaved him. It's no big deal, really. Travis Taylor doesn't really look that different. To be honest, I've tried to make them all look different, but I didn't put too much thought into the way they looked. Wong McDonald still looks pretty much the same. It's really hard to make Asian guys on this. That's not me being racist. It's just really hard to get the eyes right. I had to actually do some studying for that. Tyler Harris is one, and Anderson Black is as well, who's just named Superstar at the minute, that they utilised the Superstar tattoos from 2K16, which have been removed this year for some reason. So with Tyler Harris, I'll just go in quickly, because I think Dragasan had this as well, but I've kind of, Dragasan's got more, his chest's less exposed. But if we go to, now Tyler Harris last year had the, I think it was the Sin Cara sleeve with the piece that went across the chest. Anderson Black had the Baron Corbin chest tattoo, which obviously can't be used. These ones I've had to improvise. So that's just a couple of the generic designs just laid on top of each other. So just be wary that when you see these guys and you see them in action, and Tyler Harris's tattoos are different, or Dragasan's tattoos are different, that it couldn't be helped because they took those tattoos out. And I'm not in the process of downloading custom logos at the minute too much, because there's that whole save data issue. So I'm trying to really stay away from that. But yeah, some of them will look slightly different. Let's just say they've all gone in for laser removal surgery, because I can't help it. I'm just going to have to, that purple looks too pink, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to just, you know, do the best I can. But, you know, what's funny about recording this video right now is, you know, I talked about certain alternatives like the 6-man issues, and there are ways that I can fill in that without using 6-man matches. I could throw a promo out instead, or instead of a 6-man battle royal, just do a fatal 4-way for the #1 contender spot, stuff like that. There was a 6-man battle royal that led to a face turn and a rivalry that was due for Uprising, so I'm going to have to figure that out somehow. It's making me think, but not in a bad way. It's, you know, it's going to be a fun little challenge coming up with this. All right, so let's go for that purple. Let's make this purple a bit darker, because it looks a bit too bright. And so, yeah, it's going to be, you know, a fun little task, but, you know, there's still work to be done. I've still got a bunch more wrestlers to make. I've got a arenas are done. I need to make a few more championships. I need to figure out what I'm doing, because I do have a lot of stories planned, and this game will help in terms of story. I mean, I am enjoying the in-ring action as well. There's a lot of cool little things that, you know, even stuff as simple as the taunts. I still haven't fully wrapped my head around the taunts at the minute. They're still a bit, you know, I don't know why there's 5 on the same button. That doesn't even look any different, does it? But fuck it, it's fine. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I can do that will hopefully lead to a better product overall. and I got cut off there. My 15 minutes of fame was up. Hopefully there's a lot of stuff that can lead to a better product, and I'm looking forward to doing this stuff. So RCW still going ahead, Transformers of Soap still going ahead, Dark Savior and all that lot still going ahead. I'm just in the process of rebuilding on this and experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't work, and yeah, we'll get to it. The arenas and stuff, I'm enjoying them, especially the day-night options in certain arenas and the new parts to add. There's a lot of good stuff. There's still some bad stuff. There's some issues that I hope get resolved. However, I think there are issues that will be dealt with, but in the meantime, there's still plenty of stuff, Anderson Black agrees, that I can be getting on with in the meantime. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be fun for everybody. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now because I've been going on for a long time. I've been Dezaras Prime, and I will hopefully have a new episode of RCW up shortly in the next week or so. It'll be 2K16 RCW, but you know, it's just continuing on while I'm rebuilding, so there's something. So yes, thank you for watching. You shall see us next time.